Chosen one. What they just found out about you has them spazzing out on somebody, and it shows in the chaos unfolding around them. Someone just uncovered the truth of who you really are, and their entire reality is cracking under the weight of that revelation. Right now, they're confronting people they once trusted blindly, and the pain they're feeling, it's coming from realizing you weren't lost accidentally. Now the questions are flying. Why did you tell me that? Why did you push me away from someone who never harmed me? The house of cards is collapsing, and the truth is louder than ever. This individual convinced your person that you weren't trustworthy, made every move you made seem questionable, twisted situations to paint you in the worst possible light. The manipulation was so effective that your person started seeing you through a completely distorted lens. Problems appeared where none existed. Evidence was built against you based on manufactured stories. Eventually, mistreating you felt justified because in their mind, reasons existed. Evidence existed. Other people confirmed the twisted perspective, but here's what the manipulator didn't count on. Truth always surfaces eventually. Right now, everything is spilling into the open like a dam breaking. Your person is discovering that this manipulator was spreading outright lies, making up stories from nothing, perhaps even impersonating you, or twisting your words to create drama. The manipulation ran deeper than anyone realized. Looking back now, your person can't believe how easily the deception was swallowed, but it happened. Choosing to trust lies over direct experience with you seemed reasonable at the time. The motivation behind it all is now crystal clear. This manipulator either wanted your person for themselves, was competing with you directly, or simply couldn't stomach watching someone else experience happiness. Whatever the reason, this individual deliberately destroyed the best thing in your person's life. Now confrontations are happening. Arguments are volcanic. The manipulator is scrambling. Some responses are defensive, doubling down on lies. Some attempt to shift blame elsewhere. Some finally admit pieces of truth while making pathetic excuses. None of it is working. Your person sees clearly now. But the twist nobody anticipated is still unfolding. This manipulator isn't just losing influence. Other people are starting to come forward with their own testimonies. Additional truths keep emerging. What's being revealed is making your person question every single aspect of their entire social circle. Your person is also discovering something that makes the betrayal even deeper. This manipulator had been planning the sabotage longer than anyone realized. This wasn't spontaneous jealousy or impulsive interference. Old messages are being found now where seeds were already being planted before problems even existed in your relationship. Doubt was being created where none had reason to exist. This person was positioning themselves as the trusted advisor who would eventually lead your person away from you. Now, while your person goes after the main manipulator, something else is happening simultaneously. The people who enabled all this destruction are turning on each other. When you enable someone to destroy a blessing, you create a spiritual debt. That debt is coming due right now. These enablers are facing their own consequences. Some are being exposed for their participation in spreading lies. Others are losing credibility rapidly. Some are getting cut off completely. Your person is having explosive confrontations with people who used to be inner circle. These enablers don't know how to handle being held accountable. The assumption was that co-signing toxic behavior would have no repercussions. The belief was that helping tear you down would face no consequences. That assumption was wrong. A particular dynamic is playing out that makes everything messier. Some of these enablers are actually manipulators themselves. Flying monkeys weren't just doing someone else's bidding. Personal agendas existed. Keeping your person confused and making bad choices served their purposes somehow. Now these people are being exposed too. The discovery is shocking. Your person was surrounded by enemies disguised as friends. People who smiled while plotting behind backs. People who pretended to want the best while actually working against happiness and peace. Here's what makes narcissistic enablers particularly dangerous. Receipts are kept on everybody. All the dirt is known. Every game has been witnessed. When thrown under the bus, no problem exists with taking others down too. Right now, secrets are spilling everywhere. Hidden things are coming to light. Your person is in absolute shock at the level of betrayal discovered. But what's really crushing is this realization. You tried to warn about these people, inconsistencies were pointed out by you, motives were questioned by you. Trust in direct experience was requested over believing what others were saying, and you were dismissed, called paranoid, accused of being jealous or controlling when really you were just seeing clearly. Protection was being offered for what you were building together. Love was being expressed through uncomfortable truths, and everything you offered was thrown back in your face. Liars were chosen over someone who genuinely had best interests at heart. That awareness is crushing right now. The realization that someone existed in their corner, who could see what they couldn't, is devastating. Someone tried to save them from people who meant harm, and not only was that help rejected, you were made into the enemy for trying. Some mistakes carry permanent consequences. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. While chaos explodes in their world, information is reaching them about you that's absolutely destroying their ego. You're not broken, you're not sitting around waiting, you're actually flourishing in ways that can't be denied. Maybe a picture was seen where your glow is undeniable. Maybe word came through connections that new opportunities are being pursued. Maybe someone mentioned that you're with someone new. However the information arrived, one thing is crystal clear. You're not just okay without them. You're genuinely better. Thriving in ways that prove their absence created space for expansion. This realization hits like a freight train. In their mind, you were supposed to fall apart. Devastation was supposed to be visible. Suffering was supposed to prove their value and importance. That would have validated ego. But you're showing something completely different. That pain was taken and transformed into power. While games were being played and excuses were being made, real work was happening on your end. Wounds were healed, shadows were faced, generational patterns were broken. The person you've become will never accept dysfunction again. Evolution happened. Others stayed stuck. The contrast is undeniable. The same toxic people still provide the surrounding environment. The same mistakes keep getting repeated. The same demons are still being avoided. Meanwhile, complete transformation has occurred in your life. Elevation happened. Upgrading into a version of yourself that's barely recognizable took place. This is simultaneously intimidating and attractive. Access to that energy is wanted again. Your presence is craved. Another chance is desired. But awareness exists that worthiness is absent. The version that lost you would just lose you again. Outgrowing has been complete. The you that exists now wouldn't tolerate for 1 second the treatment given to the old you. Leveling up happened in ways that make their current state look pathetic by comparison. Energetically, this can be felt. The sensing is real, that genuine release has occurred. Happiness without them exists. Their opinion no longer matters because worth is fully known now. People who see you now are commenting on the change, how light you seem, how free, how at peace. This is devastating because the assumption existed that you needed them, that life would be diminished without them in it. The opposite proved true. Life expanded when they left. Space to breathe was created. Space to grow appeared. Space to become who you were always meant to be opened up. Now this person is stuck in a torturous cycle of comparing everything to what existed with you. If someone new is in the picture, that person isn't measuring up in any meaningful way. Conversations lack depth, connection feels shallow, energy is completely off. Going through motions happens, but nothing has real substance or meaning. Replacing something irreplaceable is the impossible task being attempted. Nobody talks to them the way you did. Understanding doesn't exist like you provided. Challenge to grow is absent compared to what you offered. Potential isn't seen in them the way you saw it. People surround them but complete loneliness is felt, because none of those people are you. Every single day begins in the void your absence created. A song plays that you loved and the gut punch is real. Passing a place you went together brings pain. Something funny appears and the instinct is to share it with you. But that's not possible anymore. You're not theirs to share with anymore. Moving on has happened. The belief existed that better could be found. The grass seemed greener somewhere else. Options needed to stay open. Now the lesson is learned. The best was already possessed and slipped away. Real gold was held and traded for fool's gold. Substance existed and superficial was chosen. Understanding arrives but too late. Waking up happens with regret. Going to sleep happens with regret. Every moment in between carries that weight. This isn't just missing you. This is knowing that something beautiful was destroyed by their own hands. Awareness exists that circumstances can't be blamed, timing can't be blamed, bad luck can't be blamed. Choices were made, actions were taken, words were said. Those decisions led directly to losing the best thing that ever happened. Specific moments are remembered now with painful clarity. Important conversations were attempted by you and shut down. Needs were expressed and dismissed. Big ways of showing up were offered, and not even acknowledged. Patience was given with flaws while nitpicking was received for yours. All of it plays on repeat. Seeing themselves through your eyes is happening now. Understanding emerges of how it must have felt to love someone who couldn't love back properly, to invest in someone who wouldn't invest equally, to fight for someone who wouldn't fight back, to believe in someone who wouldn't believe in you. That perspective shift brings the most painful humbling. The last interaction is thought about constantly. Final words exchanged. The energy everything was left on. If going back were possible, everything would be done differently. Humbling would happen. Sincere apology would be offered. Truth about how much you meant would be spoken. But going back isn't possible. Time only moves forward. Living with the fact that final impression was probably the worst must be done. This regret is compounded by watching forward movement happen in your life. Frozen in time, waiting for them is not your reality. Active building of a new life is occurring, where their relevance decreases daily. Soon just a closed chapter is all that will remain, a learned lesson, a memory that fades. The thought of being reduced to that in your mind while constant thinking about you continues is almost unbearable. Something breaks in a person when someone who brought out their best is lost. That breaking is happening right now. When you were present, evolution was occurring. Your energy pushed higher. Your standards created desire to rise and meet them. Your belief created self-belief. Potential you saw that couldn't be seen in themselves made becoming that person feel possible. Now that you're gone, backsliding is happening rapidly. Old patterns are being fallen into. Decisions the old version would make are being made again, like climbing a mountain with you, and when you left, stopping didn't happen, sliding back down did. The same people who keep them stuck provide the surrounding environment. The same behaviors that keep them broken are being engaged. The same internal work that would set them free is being avoided. Awareness of this exists. Regression is being witnessed in real time. But without you as catalyst for growth, motivation and accountability are absent. Looking in the mirror brings dislike for what's seen. Someone who had a blessing and squandered it. Someone who had love and rejected it. Someone who had a partner willing to build and chose chaos instead. That's a hard truth to face every single day. Understanding is dawning that this isn't about getting you back to feel better. Fundamental change in who they are is required, because the version that lost you will just lose you again if another chance is given. Complete transformation into someone different is needed, someone who recognizes value when seen, someone who protects what's precious instead of taking it for granted, someone who has done deep healing work to show up whole. But that kind of transformation takes time, effort, and commitment. Facing things about themselves that have been avoided for entire lifetimes is required. Getting help is necessary. Getting therapy is necessary. Getting real about patterns, traumas, and defense mechanisms is necessary. Most people aren't willing to do that work. Feeling better without changing is preferred. This person is at a crossroads trying to decide which path will be taken. Something is being understood now that was missed before. You didn't just walk away. You walked away with information, with insight, with truth about what was really happening. Remember how certain people were called out by you, how certain relationships were questioned, how something being off was sensed even when proof didn't exist. You were right about all of it. Every single suspicion is being confirmed now. Revelation happened through you, that someone was pretending, that someone was hiding true feelings, that someone was playing games. These concerns were brought to your person and dismissed, being made to feel crazy for seeing what was obvious occurred. Gaslighting happened to make you doubt your own perception. But time has proven truth was being spoken the whole time. Your intuition was accurate. Your discernment was sharp. Seeing through masks before anyone else did was your gift. Now sitting with that knowledge is happening, and devastation is real. Someone existed who could see clearly when blindness prevailed. Someone tried to protect from harm. Someone loved enough to speak uncomfortable truths, and doubt and disrespect was the repayment given. Something else was revealed about character that wasn't wanted to be faced. Being capable of manipulation was shown. Being led astray was demonstrated. Choosing comfort over courage was proven. And being hated for holding up that mirror occurred. Being hated that going along with dysfunction wasn't happening occurred. Being hated for having standards that couldn't be met occurred. So making you the problem happened. Insecurities were projected onto you. A false narrative was created where you were the toxic one, when really just honesty was being asked for, consistency was being requested, protection of what was being built instead of letting outside voices tear it apart was being sought. That false narrative is collapsing now. Everyone can see who was really toxic, who was really difficult, who was really asking for too much. And it wasn't you. It was never you. You were the stable one, the healthy one, the one trying to build something real. Chaos came from them. Dysfunction came from them. Destroying something beautiful because maturity to handle it didn't exist came from them. Those enablers who help tear you down aren't just losing influence. Active exposure is happening, and things are getting messy. See, when people enable narcissistic behavior, they become flying monkeys. Dirty work gets done. Lies get spread. False narratives get backed up, and blind participation happens. Thinking someone cared about is being helped, but awakening is happening to something shocking. These flying monkeys weren't loyal to them. Loyalty existed to chaos. Investment existed in drama. Some were manipulators themselves, who saw opportunity to manipulate someone vulnerable. Now these flying monkeys are turning. Secrets are being told. Business is being exposed. Going back to old situations and spilling information is happening. True colors are showing in the most dramatic way possible. Shock is being experienced because these people were trusted. Confiding happened with them. Belief existed that backs were had. But deeper truth is being revealed. Some of these people were never on their side. Playing both sides was happening. Smiling while secretly working against them occurred. Now that everything is falling apart, exactly who they really are is being shown. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Major confrontations are happening with demands to know why. Why was lying done? Why was manipulation happening? Why was help given to destroy the best thing in life? Answers being received are revealing something sinister. These people didn't want happiness to exist. Healing wasn't desired. Healthy love wasn't wanted to be had. Maybe jealousy was the reason. Maybe competition drove it. Maybe just misery-loving company explained it. But whatever it was, active work to sabotage happiness occurred. The realization is crushing. Being surrounded by enemies disguised as friends is now understood. People trusted most were actually biggest threats is now known. This is why cutting people off is happening everywhere. Bridges are burning. explosive fallouts are occurring, because clear seeing is happening for the first time about who was really for them and who was just playing games. Most people in the circle were playing games. You hold all the power right now, not them, you. Chaos belongs to them. Regret fills them. Desperation to fix what was broken consumes them. Peace belongs to you. Healing happened for you. Moving on occurred for you. A good life without them was built by you. That means every card is held by you. Needing closure doesn't apply to you. That was gotten when walking away happened. Needing another chance doesn't apply to you. Plenty were already given. Needing to prove anything doesn't apply to you. Being strong enough to leave what doesn't serve was already proven. So if reaching out happens, you get to decide what happens next, not them, you. Terms get set by you. Boundaries get established by you. Whether conversation even occurs gets determined by you. Whatever you decide is right because it's your life, your peace, your future. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for protecting what was built. Don't let anyone guilt you into going backwards. Don't let anyone convince you that another chance is owed just because the light is finally being seen. Access isn't owed just because a mistake was realized. Second chances don't have to be given just because sorry is being said now. Being allowed to say no is your right. Being allowed to keep moving forward is your right. Being allowed to preserve peace is your right. And that's not cold, that's wisdom, that's self-preservation. That's honoring how far you've come and refusing to risk it for someone who already proved your value couldn't be recognized. Here's what most people won't tell you. Their breakdown is not a compliment to you. Proof of real love isn't being shown. Simply natural consequence of poor choices catching up is what's happening. Don't romanticize it. Don't let ego get fed by it. Don't interpret it as a sign another chance should be given. Real change gets proven over time through consistent behavior, not through emotional outbursts or grand declarations. Actions demonstrate real change, not words. Real change happens when internal work gets done, whether you're watching or not, whether coming back is happening or not, whether benefit in relation to you exists or not. Most people who reach out after situations like this haven't done that work. Just being uncomfortable and wanting relief from discomfort is what's happening. Feeling better is wanted. Easing guilt is wanted. Access to your energy again is wanted. But actually becoming the kind of person who deserves those things isn't wanted. But chosen one, something else is happening right now that awareness is needed for. While spiraling and discovering all these truths is occurring for them, something is shifting in the spiritual realm around you. Energy put into healing, into growth, into becoming your best self is creating a field around you that repels anything not aligned with your highest good. The manipulator who turned everyone against you is being fully exposed right now. What's coming out is worse than anyone imagined. Jealousy of the relationship wasn't the only motivation. Active trying to steal your person for themselves was happening, or working for someone else who wanted your person occurred, or some twisted agenda that went way deeper existed. The manipulation was calculated, strategic, intentional. Discovery of all of it is happening now. Messages are being found. Testimony from people who witnessed it is being heard. A timeline that makes everything make sense is being pieced together. All those times warning was attempted by you. Truth was being seen. All those concerns raised by you. Complete validity existed. All that intuition you had. Absolute accuracy was present. Ignoring you and choosing to believe the manipulator happened. That choice cost everything. Now sitting with proof that you were right all along is occurring. That protection was being attempted is clear. That loving enough to speak uncomfortable truths was happening, is understood, and everything was thrown back in your face. This is the moment of full revelation, where everything called out by you is being confirmed, where every suspicion is being validated, where the mask comes completely off and the whole picture is seen clearly, and destruction is being felt. You already knew, maybe not all the details, maybe not the full extent, but something being off was known. Your intuition was trusted. Your discernment was honored. Walking away before complete destruction could happen occurred. That's divine protection in action. The universe removed you from a situation that would have drained your light, delayed your purpose, damaged your spirit. Your departure wasn't a loss. A rescue mission occurred. Extraction happened before things could get worse, and worse was definitely coming. Discovery is also happening about behavior during difficult times you were experiencing. Maybe a family situation was occurring. Maybe a health challenge existed. Maybe a personal struggle was being faced. Something you could have used support for was happening. And instead of being there during that time, coldness was given, distance was maintained, criticism was offered, because the manipulator had convinced them you were the problem. So dealing with whatever was being gone through happened while also dealing with being mistreated by someone loved, and grace was still shown. That realization is breaking something fundamental. Awareness that you were needed and abandonment occurred is devastating. Vulnerability existed, and being kicked while down happened. Battles were being fought that nothing was known about because too busy listening to lies to actually see you was the reality. Now, chosen one, let me tell you something about timing that you need to fully grasp. The fact that all this revelation is happening now, at this exact moment in your journey, is not random. This is divine orchestration at its finest. Think about it. If this truth had come out earlier, when you were still raw and wounded, what would have happened? You might have felt sorry for them. You might have seen their pain and forgotten about your own. You might have let their regret override your wisdom. You might have gone running back thinking things would be different. But now you're solid. Now you're clear. Now you're healed enough to witness their downfall without feeling the need to rescue them from themselves. Now you can see this situation for exactly what it is without getting emotionally entangled in their chaos. This is why the universe waited. This is why protection was happening even when it didn't feel like it. You were being prepared for this moment, strengthened for this revelation, positioned at a place where their crisis couldn't pull you backwards into old patterns. While all this exposure is occurring, while all these masks are coming off, while all this truth is spilling out, you're being elevated even higher. Every lie that gets revealed about what happened validates your intuition. Every manipulation that gets exposed confirms your discernment. Every flying monkey that shows their true colors proves you were right all along. This validation isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. It's the universe saying, I see you. I know what you went through. I know you were telling the truth. I know you were the one operating with integrity. And now everyone else is going to know it too. But the beauty is you don't even need that validation anymore. You've already moved on. You've already built a new life. You've already stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't require external confirmation of your worth. The validation is just a bonus, a cherry on top, a cosmic wink that says you were right to trust yourself. What's also happening is a clearing. Every person who gets exposed and cut off from their life is one less obstacle between them and potential growth. Every enabler who gets removed is one less voice feeding them lies. Every manipulator who gets revealed is one less energy draining their capacity to see clearly. In a twisted way, this breakdown might be the best thing that ever happens to them. Not because you should care, not because you should be invested in their growth, but because sometimes people need to hit rock bottom before they're willing to do the real work. Sometimes everything has to fall apart before rebuilding can begin. But here's what you need to remember. Their rock bottom is not your responsibility. Their rebuilding is not your project. Their growth is not your assignment. You already played that role. You already tried to help them see. You already offered love and support and patience, and it wasn't received the way it should have been. Now your only responsibility is to yourself, to your peace, to your purpose, to the beautiful life you're creating. Everything else is background noise. Everything else is someone else's lesson to learn. Everything else is part of a journey you're no longer walking. Somebody discovered the truth about you, and destruction is being felt, but that's not your concern anymore. That's not your experience. That's happening in your rearview mirror, while cruising forward to something infinitely better is your reality. Something most people can't do was done by you. Walking away from dysfunction even though love for the person existed happened. Choosing yourself even when hurt was felt. honoring worth even when convincing you it didn't exist was being attempted. And that decision changed everything. While spiraling and arguing and sitting in regret is happening for them, peace is yours, building is happening, growing is occurring, thriving is your reality. The contrast tells the whole experience. The right choice was made. Everything gone through was preparation. Every tear watered seeds blooming now. Every moment of pain strengthened you for purpose. Every lesson equipped you for what's next. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was in vain. Everything mattered. Everything counted. Everything contributed to the masterpiece being created. The love meant for you is coming, and it's going to be with someone who recognizes your value from the beginning, someone who protects what gets built together, someone who is healed and shows up whole, someone who doesn't need to lose you to appreciate you, someone who sees you as the prize, not the option. Opportunities aligned with your purpose are going to present themselves. Doors are going to open that were closed before. Connections are going to form that elevate you. Resources are going to flow that support your vision. Everything being called in is on its way, and you're finally ready to receive it without self-sabotaging, without settling, without shrinking. Their meltdown, their regrets, their revelations, none of that has anything to do with your forward movement anymore. That's their lesson to live through, their growth journey to walk, their consequences to sit in. You're on a completely different path now, a path that leads to peace, purpose and fulfillment that was always meant for you. So let discovery of what was lost happen for them. Let sitting in the mess occur. Let arguing with enablers continue. Let facing truth proceed. All of that is behind you. Looking back is not your position. Looking ahead is your focus, and what's ahead is so much better than what was left behind. This is your time, your season, your moment. Everything experienced was building up to this. The breakdown led to the breakthrough. The ending created space for the new beginning. The loss revealed what you truly deserve. And now stepping into that reality with head high, heart open, spirit unshakable is happening. You survived what was meant to break you. You healed from what was meant to destroy you. You grew from what was meant to diminish you. And now standing in your power, in your truth, in your purpose, ready for everything the universe has been preparing for you, is your position. They can keep their chaos. They can keep their regrets. They can keep their revelations. You've got places to go, dreams to chase, a destiny to fulfill, and nothing and no one from your past can stop that. You are chosen. You are protected. You are guided. You are loved by forces greater than can be imagined, and your experience is just beginning. The best chapters are still unwritten. The greatest moments are still ahead. The most beautiful experiences are still waiting. So walk forward with confidence, trust the journey, honor your growth, celebrate how far you've come, and get ready for what's next, because chosen one, your time is now, and it's going to be magnificent. But before we close, let me leave you with this final truth. The energy you're radiating right now, the frequency you're operating on, the vibration you're holding is magnetic. You're not just moving away from what wasn't meant for you. You're actively pulling toward you everything that is meant for you. People are going to start showing up in your life who match this new energy. Opportunities are going to present themselves that align with this new version of you. Doors are going to open that were locked when you were operating at a lower frequency. Abundance is going to flow because you've finally cleared the blockage that was preventing it. And all of that is happening not because you're chasing it, not because you're forcing it, not because you're desperately seeking it, but because you've become it. You've embodied the peace you were seeking. You've activated the power that was always within you. You've aligned with the purpose you were born to fulfill. So keep walking, chosen one. Keep rising. Keep shining. Keep being the magnificent force of nature you were created to be. Your vindication is complete. Your victory is sealed. Your new beginning is here, and nothing from your past can touch the glory of your future.